Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and I'm here with Ryan with Expedition Avalanche, who has this crazy beast of a machine from Global Expedition Vehicles. And he's been kind enough to let me take you on a tour of this thing and learn all about it, because I have never seen one of these in person like this before, and I just got crazy giddy because I'm camped. I'm camped right over there, so I get to hang out here all weekend, and it's been fantastic. Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have the passion and knowledge to ensure that your next outdoor experience is more than a camping trip, it's an adventure. And Long Creek Overland, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more. So just tell us kind of how this came to be.
How it came to be. Let's see, we've been RVing for, like 15 years. And we'd started off tent camping, doing the car thing, the hiking thing. And then got into RVs and traveling all over the country, just loved it. And then by the time we had worked ourselves up to a 42-foot diesel pusher, realized you can't get into anywhere with them. So you ended up setting up a base camp somewhere and then driving a bunch and always having to tow a vehicle to go places. And then you're also limited by the season. Those don't go well in the winter. So you're limited to, we lived in Chicago, you're limited to 6 months out of the year that you can use it. So took a few years to convince my wife that this is what we wanted, and now she's a bigger advocate, than I am for it. So
that's way cool. Well, tell us about the rig. And
so it's built by Global Expedition Vehicles. It's on a Kenworth K370 chassis that's been converted to four-wheel drive. And then the Global X does the build out of the box, essentially, and kind of fitting everything together and all the bits and pieces. And it's kind of you kind of go through an interview process when you're building one, so they get to know you and figure out how you're going to use the vehicle, and kind of come back to you with like an 80% design that says, here's what we think you want, and then let's tweak it from there. Because there's so many different things that if you've never had one like this, you would never know. Where to start.
And you tell me, these things are all 100% custom.
100% custom.
You don't just walk on the lot and pick one up.
Yep.
It's complete custom build.
Yep. So I mean, little things like the little silver thing above the fuel tank there is a dog ramp. We have big dogs, so it's a way to get the dogs in and out. If we happen to be somewhere where we can't deploy the steps, you can get the ramp out and have the dogs go in and out. So.
That's cool. And I was looking, it's on 42.5-inch tires.
Yep.
Which are just humongous, and it is four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned manual locking hubs even.
I saw that. King shocks.
King shocks. Transfer case is kind of nice. I actually can do. I can shift. The four-wheel drive is independent of high-low range.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I can actually do too low, or too high, or
okay.
4 high. Too high and too low, and 4 high and 4 low.
That's cool.
And then the four-wheel drive portion. It's got a locking rear diff on it. It's a big, massive air locker, but it's pretty common on big, heavy trucks too.
And you're telling me it does have a winch, and it has an 18,000-pound winch.
Two of them.
It has two of them.
One in the front, one in the back.
Okay. But how much does this thing weigh?
30,000 pounds.
30,000 pounds. So
ready to go.
Instant. So you're automatically snatch blocking this thing. Have you ever had to use it?
We have not had to use it yet for us, so thankfully. But we've got everything if we need it. All the snatch blocks. We've got enough snatch blocks and enough winch line and winch extensions that as long as we had a good anchor in front of us, we'd actually do the double pull where you could actually reverse one of the winches and use both wrenches to pull in the same direction.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was telling Fletch that if you actually got stuck, you'd need like a giant sequoia redwood tree.
Yeah, it's
to
gonna take something
to put his tree strap around.
A little plug for Max Tracks. When we were buying the truck, I went and talked to them at first, and the first guy I talked to said, no, it's too heavy for those. And then the other person said, but how big are the tires? And I told him, he said, well, I guess you can wrap a Max Trax around like a 31-inch tire and not damage it. So you can flex it that far. And he's like, you'll never flex it that far because the tires are too big, right? So he said, do that. The first time I got stuck, with this. Max Tracks got me right out.
That's awesome.
So
That's way cool.
yeah, took 4 of them, but it got me out and pulled it right out. So.
And you said this was a forward-looking infrared radar.
Infrared, yep. So we end up driving at night a lot. Not so much anymore, but we used to, our vacation trips were so limited that we always had to drive, and we always wanted to go somewhere, and it was usually pretty far. It'd be a 3-day drive, so we were trying to put on the miles. So we usually end up driving at night. It saved us a couple times now, where it's twice now where a buck or something has come out, and it saw it way before I did. It'll see.
I'm guessing if you hit a buck, you wouldn't even feel it in this.
There's enough. I'm sure it would hit something, right? An airline or something when it went underneath.
True.
It, it just wouldn't be good. But that camera will see on a 2-lane road. You're easily seeing probably 5 to 6 times what your headlights are seeing.
That's awesome.
And with enough detail to know what it was, or what it is that's down there.
That's really cool. Then over here you've got a generator
Generator. So we've got 3 ways of kind of generating power. When we're driving down the road, the engine will charge the batteries for the box. When we're parked, we've got solar, and then we've also got the generator to do it. So we can, our solar charger will max out at about 60 amps, and like today, it's probably putting out 60 amps right now of charge current.
How much battery capacity does something like this have?
I don't remember what. It's got 2 lithiums. I don't remember what the capacity is off the top of my head, but they're pretty good size.
But with solar and the batteries, you can actually run the air conditioner on this, right?
I can run the air conditioner off I've got a 4,000 watt inverter, so I can run the air conditioner.
Okay. That's impressive.
And then all our cooking appliances and everything are electric as well. So I can run, usually I have no issue running 2 high load items at the same time.
So your cooking appliances are all electric and not propane?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So so the only fuel we carry is diesel, so we don't have to carry any propane or anything. And our heat is diesel as well, so it's a diesel hydronic system. So it's essentially like a little boiler that heats up a glycol solution and heats the box. When I'm driving down the road, there's a circuit coming off the engine that will heat the system. So when we're running down the road, it's using engine heat to heat the box. And then if we're parked somewhere cold, I can run that circuit in reverse. So I can use the boiler to preheat the engine. So when I start the engine, it's at about 120 degrees.
That's nice.
Which is really
Get you on the road a little faster if needed.
Yeah, it'll get you. It'll get about 15 minutes. It'll get up to 120 degrees. So.
I'm seeing tons of storage boxes.
Lots of storage boxes.
On the
fuel tank. There's one on the other side that matches. It's
I say, how many gallons of fuel does this have?
200 total. 2 100-gallon tanks. And we do have a way to plug in shore power. I've got also 30 amp service for out here to plug if I need to plug in a tool, a power tool or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Plug in electricity outside. All our gray and everything is in here. This is one side of the storage. All the utilities and systems are all mounted on this wall across the front, so you can actually pull the slide out and get up in there. Get to all the systems and everything.
That's cool.
So you basically have water systems on one side and electrical on the other. And then the heating system is up underneath the frame.
Nice and organized front runner wolf packs.
Yes.
Very nice.
Too bad you can't get them right now.
That's true. You cannot.
And our max tracks.
You got, 8 max tracks on this?
Yeah. So we'll use them for leveling too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I love this 30,000 pound vehicle, and you've got the little RV leveling blocks to level it. That's impressive.
They'll work as cribbing too if you're jacking it up and you need to set the axle down.
I would not have thought that.
Spare tires on a winch so you can lower it down, just roll it away. And makes getting the bikes down easy. And then this trip we brought our X-Venture flat deck trailer and our General to go play on the trails.
Now, how often do you bring a smaller vehicle like that for running into, running and playing, or maybe running into town? Or is it the first time?
This is the first time.
Oh.
So usually we don't bring anything. So we'll either use the bike and the trailer and ride and go get stuff, or hop in the truck and go, because it's, that's part of what we love about it, is the setup is so easy. I mean, the only setup I did when we got here was pull a few blocks out.
Just level the one little tire.
And we're done.
A little tire. The one massive tire.
And then we're done. So it's super easy and just ready to roll. So we keep it essentially fully stocked. So it's just hop in and go. We don't
That's great.
have to do anything anymore.
Get to go up into the pilot seat.
Watch that step's gonna move there.
Yeah. Ugh.
And then you just push down on the seat. Push down
Air seat.
air ride seat.
Wow. That's the
So that's
pass
just a
through
foam
for.
pad that we have that kind of locks it off, but granted, it's okay.
I hear Granite back there.
So
How does it drive?
it drives like a big Jeep.
Really?
The best way to describe it. So
like a new JL or like an old DJ?
it wanders a bit like a lifted Jeep with the big tires and everything, but you can see the FLIR now just, so like your fire pit is hot because it's sitting in the sun, so it's white.
Mm-hmm.
And once the sun goes down, the detail actually just gets to be pretty amazing. On you can see leaves in the trees and.
Oh, that's cool.
and
I bet that's
everything.
pretty neat. I mean, the seat's comfortable.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's not bad.
it's obviously power steering and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's automatic transmission, so Allison 6-speed transmission. So yeah, easy to drive.
Very cool. Yeah, I want to see back there.
Okay.
Hey boy. Hey boy. Granite.
It's okay. Sit down. Sit.
Hey, you were friendly to me yesterday.
It's okay.
You were friendly to me yesterday. Hey. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Grant.
Hey, big boy. Yeah.
Go bolting out.
Oh wow, this is gorgeous.
So dinette booth in the front, and we've got we've got larger tables that you can set up if you want to sit
Yeah.
for people, or you can drop them down and actually turn that into a bed.
I love the wood and the metal and that is just gorgeous. And the
Leather, yeah.
wow.
So yeah, Christy did the inside.
I was about to say your wife had a
she
big
did-
part
she
in all
did the
this.
Inside, I did the outside kind of thing. So,
Wow.
but yeah, we lived in here from August of last year until April of this year, full time, with these two yahoos as well. So
With the little pups.
yeah, so it was. If you had told us ahead of time that that's what we were going to have to do, we would have said, "Yeah, this is not going to go well." But it was amazing. It was actually it was almost sad to move out and say
I bet.
we're done with this little chapter
Yeah.
of living in here.
And how do these guys do?
Oh, they love it. They just get in, and they both have their spots. That's
That's
Granite's area.
Granite's
there.
little
Trax
spot right there.
Trax is usually back here, and they love it. The cooktop here. We've got it's an induction.
I love the.
Yeah, so that's Granite when he was a pup.
That's Granite as a
These
pup.
are all our guys that have traveled with us in
Aw.
the past. So.
Is it, this is oven?
No, that's a fridge.
That's a fridge,
So
okay.
freezer on top, fridge on the bottom.
Okay.
It's nice because if you imagine like a regular door fridge.
That's the
That's
cooktop.
cooktop, yeah. It's
Okay.
induction, so you can actually cook on the mat. So if we're not quite level, it's the pan doesn't slide out.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of nice. But yeah, the drawers keep things from, if you forget to latch it or something like that, keep it from flying out.
That's
So,
shower and bathroom.
with bathroom.
Not bad. That's a good amount of space.
Yeah, and then a shower with some extra drinks and things like that.
Uh-huh.
This trip, and we opted. A lot of the units they build have a wet head, so it's all one unit.
Yeah.
and we decided that was not something we wanted. It makes it hard for two people to get ready in the morning.
I bet.
If you just have that.
Yeah, I bet.
This way, one person can be in the air, one person showering and getting ready.
And nice big
Queen size bed. Storage
Both
lockers on
sides.
down low. Storage lockers up high on both sides. And
All
all the electronics are all right
electronics
here.
controls.
You know, and one of the unique things about
I love the skylight above the bed. That's neat.
It was a bit annoying on what was that Thursday night with the lightning. It was a little bright.
Can you not? You don't have it.
You can close it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can close it,
But yeah, that's awesome. I could see how spending full time in a rig like this would be very doable.
it was very doable. You know, we've got clothing storage here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to get on the bed's actually not as hard as it looks. Oh, so they did little things like steps.
And that's load barrier. You can step on that
to get into the bed.
I like that idea of just kind of jumping up.
Well, you're tall enough. You're
True.
Christy. She's not quite tall enough for that.
Now we did talk about this. This isn't something you can just go through the McDonald's drive-through.
No.
No. If you wanted to.
No, but you have enough food that it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, typically, even when we're getting ready for trips, we a lot of times will take this to the grocery store. It's just easier. Instead of taking your car and loading up the groceries in that, and then coming back home and unloading it. The day before trip, we just take this, or sometimes on the way out of town, we just have our list and we'll stop, load it up, and off we go.
Washer dryer?
So washer dryer combo. So that's how it made it.
Okay,
That's how it made it livable.
okay. That's pretty Gucci. Having a washer dryer. That's pretty glamping right there. I mean, not that this isn't glamping, but this is pretty extreme glamping.
Yeah. Just again, makes living in it full time.
So,
doable.
where all have you traveled in this?
So far, just in the States. We do plan on hitting South America. Eventually, we're going to do Alaska first once the whole border bit opens up a little easier, and we can do.
I can see Alaska being killer in this thing.
Canada and Alaska,
Canada,
and spend some time up there, kind of practicing, and then eventually head down to South America with it.
God, that sounds amazing. Now, have you done trails like the Alpine Loop in Colorado?
We have not done the Alpine Loop in Colorado. We've done quite a bit of backcountry stuff in Idaho, which is where we live.
I'm just trying to think of something that I'm familiar with. That.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, again, it's like you pointed out, it's mostly upper clearance that becomes a problem, low-hanging trees and bridges, or weight issues when it comes to like bridges going across and everything. But doing the shakedown trip we did for this in Idaho, very first trip we took it on, but we would have never dreamt of taking any kind of regular RV on, and probably would have looked at that and go, yeah, you're not going to even get this up and over it, and we had no issues whatsoever. So it's, and then we've done, we used to live in Illinois. We've done, the beaches in Louisiana. So we've taken it out on the sand and the beaches down there and camped, which is just, all the campers are way down over here, and we're able to get way off by ourselves.
Have you taken it down like to Padre Island National Seashore? In Corpus?
No, we didn't go that way. We basically went straight down into Louisiana.
I could see this would be awesome because Penns, you've got 60 miles of beach that you can drive on.
Yeah,
and it's super windy out there. So something like this out there would be just
when we had those winds on
Thursday
night that everybody was getting their tents rattled. It was still moving this pretty good.
Yeah,
but
but that probably felt like it's kind of in a rocking
like sitting on moored in a boat on the ocean. So, it's quite. We were looking at like the trail. You went out to. Did you go out to the rocket range?
Went out to the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that. Like we said, that would be totally doable in this truck. Without other than, I don't want to be the guy blocking everybody. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it on a day that there's no traffic out there, and probably want to have a scout in front of me just to say, okay, it's clear to the next, possible passing area.
Yeah,
so that's because I don't want to be the guy blocking everybody in and doing that, because it would take us a while to get out there. So,
well, this thing is so cool. I love it. So
yeah.
Oh well, thanks for taking us on a tour of this thing.
You're welcome.
It is pretty much the coolest thing I've ever seen. I love it.
Yeah.
So, and you're on Instagram, but
Yeah,
you don't do a whole lot.
Yeah, we don't do a whole lot of posting.
Where y'all go? You need to up the Instagram game.
Yeah, probably.
But love your dogs too.
Yeah.
They are just the coolest. So
Yeah, grant us the security
I bet.
system, and we're not sure what Trax is good for yet.
I mean, just Trax's size, along with Granite, you're pretty much anybody who's going to mess with this thinks they're going to die immediately,
Right.
and become the next meal.
Yeah.
So, but well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been a way cool experience for me, seeing something like this and getting a tour. I mean, this is like really the ultimate overlanding style vehicle. So, thanks for bringing us along, and
You're welcome.
anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye.